Welcome to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support me. The astral Voyager sailed silently through the black void, its sleek, silver hull reflecting the faint starlight. Inside the ship, a steady hum permeated the air, the comforting sound of technology operating as it should. The crew, numbering 35, was busy with their usual tasks, unaware of the monumental discovery that awaited them. Captain Sarah O'Connell stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the vast expanse of space beyond the large viewport. She was a woman in her mid-40s, with short-cropped auburn hair and sharp, intelligent eyes. Years of experience had etched faint lines on her face, but they only added to her aura of authority. Sarah had been a part of many missions, exploring the far reaches of known space, but something about this mission felt different, an almost palpable tension in the air. "Captain, we're picking up something unusual," said Lieutenant Mason, the ship's navigator, breaking the silence. He was a young officer, still fresh from the academy, but his skills were impressive. His fingers danced over the controls as he brought up the readings on the main screen. Sarah turned her attention to the screen, her brow furrowing. "What is it?" "There's an anomaly about 50,000 kilometers ahead. It appears to be a nebula, but the energy readings are off the charts. I've never seen anything like it." Sarah studied the data, her curiosity piqued. The nebula was unlike any she'd encountered before. It wasn't just a cloud of gas and dust, it pulsed with an unnatural energy, a mix of colors swirling in patterns that defied explanation. "Any life signs?" she asked, her voice calm but commanding. Lieutenant Patel, the science officer, leaned over her console, running a series of scans. "It's difficult to say, Captain. The energy interference is too strong for our sensors to penetrate. But there are definitely anomalous readings, something's in there, but I can't determine what." Sarah considered her options. The logical choice would be to bypass the nebula and continue their mission, but her instincts told her otherwise. This was why they were out here, to explore the unknown, to push the boundaries of human understanding. She knew the risks, but she also knew the rewards could be unimaginable. "Take us in," she ordered, her voice firm. "Aye, Captain," Mason replied, adjusting the ship's course. As the astral Voyager drew closer to the nebula, the colors became more vivid, swirling in mesmerizing patterns. The ship's lights dimmed slightly as the energy fields began to interact with their systems. Sarah could feel the tension on the bridge increase as the crew exchanged uneasy glances. "All systems are still operational," reported Chief Engineer Barnes, a grizzled veteran who had been with Sarah on more missions than he could count. "But we're getting some strange fluctuations in the power grid." "Keep an eye on it," Sarah said. "And be ready to reroute power if necessary." Barnes nodded, his fingers already moving over his console. The astral Voyager entered the nebula, and the view screen was filled with a kaleidoscope of colors. It was like nothing any of them had ever seen, a cosmic dance of light and energy, beautiful yet foreboding. Suddenly, the ship shuddered, the lights flickering. "What's happening?" Sarah demanded. "We've hit some kind of energy field," Mason said, his voice tense. "It's affecting our navigation systems. I'm trying to compensate, but it's like the nebula is alive, reacting to our presence." "Shields up," Sarah ordered. "All hands, brace for impact." The crew scrambled to secure their stations as the astral Voyager was buffeted by waves of energy. The ship groaned under the strain, the hull creaking ominously. "Structural integrity is holding," Barnes reported, though his voice betrayed a hint of concern. "Captain, we're being pulled deeper into the nebula," Mason said, his hands gripping the controls tightly. It's like something is dragging us in. Can you break free? Sarah asked, her mind racing with possibilities. I'm trying, but the more I fight it, the stronger the pull becomes. Sarah's eyes narrowed as she assessed the situation. They were in uncharted territory, facing an unknown force. But retreating wasn't an option, they needed to understand what they were dealing with. Let it take us, she said after a moment. Reduce power to engines and let it pull us in. But keep our shields at maximum and monitor everything. Mason hesitated for a split second before nodding. Aye, Captain. The astral Voyager stopped resisting, and the ship's movement became more fluid, almost as if it were being guided through the nebula. The colors outside intensified, and the energy reading spiked. Captain, we're approaching something massive, Patel said, her voice tinged with awe. It looks like a structure, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen. On the view screen, the swirling colors of the nebula parted, revealing a colossal alien station, its surface covered in intricate patterns that glowed faintly. The structure was ancient, yet it hummed with life, a testament to the advanced civilization that had built it. Magnify, Sarah ordered, leaning forward in her seat. The image zoomed in, showing more details of the station. It was enormous, easily the size of a small moon, with spires and towers jutting out at odd angles. The design was both beautiful and unsettling, as if it were crafted by minds that viewed the universe differently from humans. We're being scanned, Patel said suddenly. Energy signatures are increasing. Something is definitely alive here. Any idea what? Sarah asked. Not yet. But the station is definitely active, there are power surges throughout the structure, and I'm detecting what could be life support systems. Sarah's mind raced. This was a discovery of a lifetime, an alien structure, fully intact and operational. But it also posed a significant risk. They had no idea who or what might be inside, or if they were friendly. Prepare a boarding party, she said, her decision made. We need to know what we're dealing with. Aye, Captain, Patel responded, already tapping into the ship's comms to summon the necessary crew members. Within minutes, the boarding party was assembled. Sarah, Patel, Mason, and a small team of security officers, led by Sergeant Reyes, a no-nonsense soldier with a reputation for staying calm under pressure. They donned their environmental suits, checking their weapons and equipment. Stay sharp, everyone, Sarah said as they made their way to the airlock. We have no idea what's waiting for us in there. The team nodded, their expressions determined. They had trained for scenarios like this, but nothing could fully prepare them for the unknown. The astral Voyager docked with the station, and the airlock hissed open, revealing a long, dimly lit corridor. The walls were smooth and metallic, with strange symbols etched into them. A faint hum resonated through the air, a reminder that the station was still very much alive. Atmosphere is breathable, Patel reported, scanning the air. But there's something else, trace elements I can't identify. Keep your helmets on, Sarah ordered. No need to take unnecessary risks. They moved cautiously down the corridor, their footsteps echoing in the silence. The tension was palpable, every shadow a potential threat. Sarah kept her weapon at the ready, her senses heightened. As they reached a large chamber, the corridor widened, revealing a massive control room. In the center of the room was a raised platform with a console covered in glowing symbols. Around the edges of the room were what appeared to be stasis pods, their contents hidden behind frosted glass. This is incredible, Patel whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. This technology, it's so advanced. Can you make sense of it? Sarah asked, her gaze sweeping the room. I'm not sure. It's going to take time to decipher these symbols, but it looks like this console controls most of the station's systems. Get to work, Sarah said. The rest of us will secure the area. As Patel began working on the console, the security team spread out, checking the stasis pods and scanning for any threats. The air was thick with anticipation, the crew acutely aware that they were standing in the heart of something extraordinary. Suddenly, one of the stasis pods hissed, and the frosted glass began to clear. Reyes and his team aimed their weapons at the pod, ready for anything. Stand down, Sarah ordered, stepping forward. Let's see what we're dealing with. The glass cleared completely, revealing a humanoid figure inside. The being was tall and slender, with pale, almost translucent skin. Its eyes were closed, and it appeared to be in a deep sleep. The technology surrounding it seemed to be keeping it in a state of suspended animation. Is it alive? Mason asked, his voice hushed. Yes, Patel confirmed, checking her scanner. But barely. The stasis field is failing, it's been in there for a long time. We need to wake it up, Sarah said, making a snap decision. This could be the key to understanding this place. Captain, are you sure that's wise? Reyes asked, his grip tightening on his weapon. We're here to learn, Sergeant, Sarah replied. And this is our best chance. Patel nodded and began working on the console, her fingers moving swiftly over the alien symbols. The stasis field flickered, and the being inside the pod stirred, its eyes slowly opening. They were large, with irises that shimmered with a kaleidoscope of colors, reflecting the nebula outside. The being looked at them, its expression unreadable. It raised a hand, pressing it against the glass as if trying to communicate. We come in peace, Sarah said, hoping the universal sentiment would be understood. The being blinked slowly, then placed its other hand on a control panel inside the pod. The glass slid open with a soft hiss, and the alien stepped out, towering over the crew. For a moment, no one moved. The alien studied them with an intense gaze, its head tilting slightly as if trying to comprehend their presence. We're explorers, Sarah said, taking a step forward. We found your station by accident and mean you no harm. The alien's eyes flickered again, and then it spoke, its voice a soft, melodic hum that resonated in their minds rather than their ears. Explorers, from the stars, it said, its words slow and deliberate, as if testing them. You have awakened me, from the long sleep. Yes, Sarah replied, her tone respectful. We were drawn here by your technology. We seek knowledge and understanding. The alien regarded them for a moment longer, then nodded. I am the last, of my kind. We were the guardians, of this nebula. But time, and the void, claimed the others. I alone remain, to watch over our legacy. What happened here? Mason asked, unable to contain his curiosity. The alien's eyes dimmed slightly, a gesture that seemed to convey sadness. The nebula is a gateway, a nexus of energies, that few can comprehend. We harnessed its power, to create and to protect. But we were not the only ones, who desired it. Others came, with violence and greed. We fought, and we perished. Sarah felt a pang of empathy for the alien. They had clearly suffered, their civilization lost to the ravages of time and conflict. Yet here they were, the last of their kind, still guarding the remnants of their once great empire. Is there a way out of the nebula? She asked, knowing that their survival depended on it. The alien nodded. Yes. The station controls the gateway. But the energy needed is vast. More than you can imagine. I can guide you, but you must be prepared for the cost. We'll do whatever it takes, Sarah said, her voice resolute. The alien seemed to consider this, then gestured to the console Patel had been working on. There is a way, but it requires a sacrifice. The energy source can power your ship and open the gateway. But once activated, it cannot be stopped. The station will be consumed, and I with it. Sarah felt a knot form in her stomach. The alien was offering to sacrifice itself to save them, to ensure that they could return home with the knowledge they had gained. It was an offer she wasn't sure she had the right to accept. We can't ask you to do that, she said softly. You do not ask, the alien replied. I offer. It is the purpose for which I have remained. To guard and to guide. Your people may yet learn from our mistakes. The energy must be used wisely. Sarah nodded, feeling the weight of the responsibility that had been placed upon her shoulders. We'll honor your sacrifice, she promised. And we'll make sure that your legacy lives on. The alien inclined its head, then moved to the console, its hands moving gracefully over the controls. The room hummed with energy as the station systems came to life, the alien's actions precise and deliberate. The gateway will open when you are ready, the alien said, stepping back. Go now, and prepare your ship. Sarah and her team returned to the astral Voyager, their minds heavy with the knowledge of what was to come. They quickly made the necessary preparations, rerouting power and readying the ship for the journey through the gateway. As they worked, Sarah took a moment to reflect on the alien's sacrifice. They had encountered a being who had lived through the rise and fall of an entire civilization, who had seen more than any human could imagine. And now, they were about to witness the end of that being's long vigil. When everything was ready, Sarah returned to the bridge and activated the comm system. This is Captain O'Connell to all hands. We're about to make a jump through an unknown gateway. I want everyone at their stations, prepared for anything. This is the culmination of our mission, and I have no doubt that we'll succeed. We've come this far together, and we'll see it through to the end. The crew responded with a chorus of acknowledgments, their determination mirroring her own. Sarah took a deep breath, her hands steady on the controls. Alien, we're ready, she said, her voice clear and strong. Very well, the alien replied, its voice still echoing in their minds. The gateway will open, in 3, 2, 1. The station trembled as the gateway activated, a blinding light filling the view screen. The astral Voyager was engulfed in a surge of energy as the alien's technology powered the ship, the nebula's colors swirling around them in a vortex of light and sound. For a moment, Sarah felt as though they were being torn apart, the fabric of reality stretching to its limits. But then, just as suddenly, the light faded, and the astral Voyager was propelled forward, emerging on the other side of the gateway. The view screen cleared, revealing the familiar sight of open space. They had made it, returned to the known galaxy, with the alien energy source now integrated into their systems. Sarah let out a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding, her body relaxing as the